Thank you so much, George. So another victory for Mo Zawadi. It was certainly made to work in each and every round, as we talked about, Steve. And, you know, this is a learning experience type fight for Zawadi. And perhaps you can relate to this because obviously Zawadi is a fighter who has a lot of hype here in Canadian circles. And outside of the loss that's on his record, this was his toughest test. And he was driven and taken 6 rounds. What does he take away? How does he internalize what happened in the ring here tonight?
He's just got to understand, and like he mentioned at the end of his speech there, and I'm happy he mentioned it, not every fight's going to be a blow. You can't knock out everybody. You have to prepare for 6, 8, 10, 12 rounds, however many rounds you're going to fight. You can't go in there expecting a knockout or hoping for a knockout. You have to prepare that your opponent's just as ready as you, and you're going to go the full distance. And I think as he learns and grows, and with guys like Billy Martin in his corner and in his camp, he's going to learn that you have to pace yourself, and not everything can end in a knockout.
Did you see anything that you feel that Zawadi can improve upon after watching him for 6 rounds now?
Just his overall attitude in there. I mean, I've seen him fight as an amateur. He was so sharp and so fast and so good. And though the pro game can be a little bit slower pace, I'd still like to use him to use those sharp jabs, those nice right hands, and throw combinations, because he'll get guys out of there. Where I feel now that he's in the pros, he's kind of loading up and looking for that one shot. And though he's gotten it before and he can get it, but as you climb the ladder in the boxing game, it won't be one and done. You have to set things up with jabs and hooks and beat guys down to the body. And don't take anything away from Mo Zawadi's performance. He fought great here tonight. He dug shots to the body. He had good defense in there. He did a lot of good things tonight. But to move and to go forward and to grow, there is certain things that I have to work on.
Excellent summary. Well, coming up next, we have some lightweight action. Mathusan Mahindas and Arturo Avila. Avila, known as Gotti. And obviously happy to be fighting here in Canada, the homeland of his namesake. You see, Mahindas will be giving up an inch in the way of reach. Arturo Avila probably could be fighting at about 126 or lower. Came in at 131. This should be an interesting one. We're ready to meet both of these fighters. Let's send it up to David Neiman.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the next fight of the night to commence. Now making his way down to the ring, please welcome Arturo Avila Moreno.
Mi nombre es Arturo Avila Moreno y vengo desde Guadalajara. El boxeo en sí, pues siempre me gustó desde chico. Los deportes de contacto siempre me llamaron la atención. Mi padre practicaba un poco boxeo y pues me enseñó lo básico, se puede decir, pero me enseñó ya hasta como los 16, 17 años, fue cuando ya lo empecé a practicar. Me gustan mucho los deportes de contacto y pues siempre me ha encantado sentir también la adrenalina y saber que estoy yo solo en el ring y las cosas dependen de mí. Tengo a mi esquina que me ayuda y todo, pero al final el que toma la decisión soy yo. Ya ansioso, de hecho, ya traigo como esa sensación de querer saber ya qué va a pasar, de subirme y vivirlo.
Well, when Arturo Avila first put on a pair of boxing gloves and began training in the sport at the age of 17, his coach couldn't remember his name. When he needed Arturo's attention, he would just yell, "Gotti, Gotti." Well, it turns out Avila didn't mind at all. Not only does he share a first name with the Boxing Hall of Famer, but Gotti is one of his fighting heroes. First falling in love with him after watching his bravery in the ring against Floyd Mayweather Jr. So tonight is a dream come true for Avila, he says. Fighting in Gotti's home country of Canada, with many people in attendance, such as the Grant brothers and my colleague Steve Molitor, who knew and loved him before his untimely passing. A big night for Arturo Avila.
And now about to make his way down to the squared circle, please welcome Mathusan Mahindas.
I feel like the challenge it brings is like harder than anything. My name is Mathusan Mahindas. We're at Gideon Boxing Academy. definitely fighting for a better position for my family. There's a lot of pain in our community, but I'm showing that you can get out of it. I feel like my job in this sport is trying to become the first Tamil world champion. I always told people, like, if I never see myself making $1 million other than inside of a boxing ring. You can definitely always expect a tough fight in the Owl's Nest. They don't try to put on like free matchups. It's always like competitive matchups. I always know the person I'm gonna fight is gonna come to fight and gonna come to win, so you gotta prepare as such. What I've been working on more recently is more like the explosiveness. I feel like I've always had the boxing ability, but I need to add, you know, I'm trying to get the knockout from now on. Like, I can't let things go to the judges anymore, and I think that I've taken that to heart, so that's what I'm coming in. I'm gonna come in swinging.
Mathusan Mahindas calls himself the David Goggins of boxing because all he does is work, not just inside the ring, but outside of it. Mahindas balances his boxing career with one as an insurance underwriter, putting his finance degree from the University of Toronto to use. But after seeing the manga and anime Hajime no Ippo, Mahindas was determined to make it as a pro boxer, one day able to leave his office job, behind entirely. And now at 4-0 as a professional, Mahindas feels that he is very much on the path to doing just that. And you heard the big ovation for Mahindas, a very popular figure in the Tamil community here in the Toronto region, as the Owl's Nest gets loud here for our next contest. Let's introduce the fighters and send it back up inside the center of the ring to David Neiman.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is brought to you by Red Owl Boxing and is scheduled for 4 rounds or less in the lightweight division and is sponsored by Power Staffing Solutions. Our 3 judges scoring the bout at ringside: Deborah Wong, Jeremy Hayes, and Martin Dalida. And once the action begins, the referee in charge, Dave Dunbar. Introducing first, on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, and tonight wearing blue trimmed with gold. His official weight, 131 pounds. He enters the ring with an undefeated record of 2 wins against no defeats and 1 draw, hailing from Zapopan, Jalisco, Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Arturo Avila Moreno. And his opponent on my right, fighting out of the red corner, and tonight wearing red trimmed with black. His official weight, 135 pounds even. He also enters the ring with an undefeated record of 4 wins against no defeats, 1 win coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Scarborough, Ontario. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mathusan Tiger Mahindas. Referee Dave Dunbar to give final instructions.
Gentlemen, we went through the rules earlier in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Expect it to be my commands at all times. Belt line is here. Belt line is here. There above will be considered good blows. Any questions from the corners? Touch gloves now, gentlemen. Come out at the bell. Good luck to you both.
We're set to go. Mathusan Mahindas, Arturo Avila. See Mahindas in the black trunks trimmed with red. Avila in the purple trunks and the LA Lakers colors with the name Gotti on the back.
Very long body for Arturo Avila.
Well, Avila only started boxing at the age of 17. Now 21 years old, so 4 years into his boxing career total. Hoping that one day, he says, he can support himself and his family with boxing alone. An interesting dynamic in the corner of Mathusan Mahindas as well. Of course, Horace Hunter is lead trainer, but Melinda Watpool also in the corner of Mahindas. Watpool, obviously a fantastic amateur here in Canada, also 2-0 as a pro. So interesting to have two active fighters kind of working together in that dynamic. Similar dynamic perhaps to Tony Harrison and Alicia Baumgartner. Tony Harrison fighting a little bit later on here tonight. On a higher level, two active fighters teaming up in that respect. Avila coming up short with the right hand. Good counter to the body by Mahindas. Mahindas said he's looking to really settle into a more professional style in this fight. But he wants to throw everything with a purpose, not just kind of pawing with punches or throwing them without reason. Be a little more economical with his output.
And moving forward as he goes farther in rounds in 6 and 8 and 12, that's definitely the right thought process to have. You mean to conserve energy and save energy.
Shot on the inside there from Avila. Takes a left hand to the body, has a free hand. For Dave Dunbar, laying work on the inside. Work to the body from both fighters on the inside. See the mouthpiece flying out from Arturo Avila. Mahindas eager to get back in there right away. Seconds tick away. Good right hand, maybe the best one of the round in the fight so far for Mahindas, and he connects on another one. What a way to close out the round for Mathusan Mahindas.
Not only close out the round, Corey, but secure the round in my eyes with those two big right hands. I mean, it wasn't a very busy fight, kind of the feeling out process that you've seen a lot of fighters. But those two beautiful right hands by Mathusan Mahindas definitely secured the 10-down round for him. I believe and know that Arturo Avila would have a lot more success if he started letting his hands go. He lets Mathusan Mahindas get off, and he just wastes his long reach by standing there waiting for Mahindas to punch, and then tries to counter with those long punches. It's too late. The damage has been done. So I think Avila's got to get off earlier, start pumping that jab, and let that right hand go from a distance before Mathusan Mahindas lets his hands go, or it's going to be a long night for Avila.
Round 2 underway. Mahindas had over 80 amateur fights, and as he described, it was kind of an unheralded amateur, but he was up there fighting guys like Wyatt Sanford, who went to the Olympics, fighting those types of elite amateurs on the Canadian circuit, and then has quietly turned pro and put together a 4-0 start to his professional career. Avila, meanwhile, as you mentioned, only been boxing for 4 years. He trains at Gama's boxing school in Zapopan, Mexico. His trainer, Alonso Gama, in his corner tonight, made the trip. Oh, good shot there by Avila, but that will be called a slip, and I think correctly so.
Yeah, their feet interlocked behind each other there, and it definitely was a slip. Here, Horace Hunter, the corner of Mathusan Mahindas, begging them to go to the body so they can hopefully slow the constant pressure of Avila down.
Was a good right hand to the body. It's interesting that Mahindas, his introduction to boxing, as we mentioned, came through anime, but then the very first fight he ever saw was Brandon Rios, Mike Alvarado 1. So that's your introduction to the sport. A lot of things are going to be downhill as a viewer after that. But he said that as time went on, he realized, I don't really want to get into fights like that. I'm more into fighters like Andre Ward and Bernard Hopkins.
The hit and don't get hit, and be smart and get out when you can. This has been a lot better round for Mahindas. I think he's been landing a lot cleaner shots from the outside, like he just did there with that right hand.
Flurry there on the inside from Avila, but Mahindas is there to counter within those shots. Good work in between that flurry from Mahindas as he rips another left hand to the body.
You hear the corner implying for Mahindas to go to the body, and they are working. The long body of Avila won't allow him to cover his head in the body, so when he bends down like that, his rib cage is wide open, and you can hear the corner calling for those body shots.
Mahindas has found something with those step back uppercuts, and he's getting better than he's receiving on the inside as well. An excellent round here for Mahindas as he closes it out with a pair of hard body shots.
That was a much better round for Mathusan Mahindas.
We'll take a look at some of the action from round two. An excellent one for Mahindas.
A beautiful round, especially when he sets it up with that jab. There we see where their feet got tangled up, Corey, and it was a tanglement of the feet, and Mahindas went down. But Mahindas boxing well, stepping back as Avila steps in and landing the cleaner shots, and some good body work by Mathusan Mahindas in that round, which really slowed Avila down and was a clear victory for Mathusan Mahindas in round three.
Round three begins. Good uppercut on the inside there from Mahindas. Avila just trying to make this one messy. Mahindas' corner wisely telling him to step back and work. This works also. Just tie him up and stop that momentum.
Let the ref do the job, yeah.
Now, it's interesting that Mahindas said that he wanted to be a little more economical with his punches, maybe throw a little bit less. But I think what's helped him in this fight, Steve, is the fact that he's constantly touching Avila from the outside. He always has a hand on Avila and is putting him under duress.
He's put him under duress, and those body shots are definitely stopping the young Avila. I mean, from constantly trying to let go of his hands. There's been some good body work by Mathusan Mahindas in the first couple rounds.
At the same time, Avila right now, just with sheer pressure, making things a little bit uncomfortable for Mahindas to do some of this good work. Avila with a very interesting training environment back home in Zapopan. We've all seen videos of Floyd Mayweather doing his road work with a car pacing him behind him. Well, Avila and his team, they like to run in the Serra La Col, the biggest mountain in Zapopan, and they have men on horses that are their pacers, and they have to beat those horses, which is not easy out on the trails. And he's not making it easy on Mahindas right now as he lands a good left hook that backs Mahindas up.
And that's what he's got to do. He's 2 rounds down basically against Mahindas. He's got to go, he's got to try something. He's got to let his hands go because what he's been doing the first 2 rounds hasn't done him any good. So he's got to try to do something here to change the tempo of this fight.
Inside the final minute of round 3.
Fire, keep the range and fire, step back and fire. Change the levels.
Good right hand to the body there from Mahindas. His corner asking him to change levels a little bit.
Work in there. Work in there. Work in there.
Mahindas being warned about tying up the left arm, or the right arm, excuse me, of Avila. Referee Dave Dunbar on patrol. messier round here, Steve.
It is a mess around. I'm going to point this out, Corey. I've watched Mathusan Mahindas fight a few times now, and I got to admit, I don't know if they've been working on it back in the gym. His head movement, when he steps back, has gotten so much better. A lot of improvements I've seen in his patience in throwing the jab. So hats off to Horace Hunter and Mathusan Mahindas' team. As we look back at some action in the third round. Wasn't the cleanest work, but Mathusan Mahindas on the inside landing some good uppercuts and hooks there, and landing the cleaner shots of the two. Should be a little bit easier of a round to score for the judges. Mahindas landing those clean shots on the inside.
The fourth and final round here between Mathusan Mahindas and Arturo Avila. A competitive bout here as we see the progression of Mahindas, who wants to one day become the first Tamil professional boxing champion. I mentioned has a lot of support in the Tamil community here in the greater Toronto region as he lands a good left hook. Avila fighting right now like a fighter who knows that he probably not only needs the fourth and final round, but likely needs a knockout here, Steve.
I like the back of his short safe, fighting like an Arturo Gatti, desperate to get the knockout win, because at this point, Corey, that is what he needs to win this fight versus Mathusan Mahindas, is a knockout, because he's down 3 rounds to 0.
And a good learning experience here for Mahindas as well. Again, Avila, not a traditionally schooled boxer like he would have seen on the high-level elite amateur circuit, but someone who's been trying to rough him up on the inside, giving him a different look, an element that he'll have to deal with as he climbs up the ranks.
And even though this isn't a pretty fight and a smooth fight the way Mahindas wants to go, and it's an ugly, dirty, rough fight, these are definitely, Corey, I can tell you, most definitely the fights that make you grow and make you learn and bring you to the next levels of your career that you need to get to become a world champion in the end.
And just trying to load up that right hand. We saw him uncork it to the body a moment ago, trying to measure with the jab hand, let the right hand go. Mahindas has been doing well on the inside here, is always keeping that right hand free. He's always able to touch the body of Avila, even during these messy sequences. Crowd coming alive here at the Owl's Nest. Now we see a cut.
Oh, and a big right hand from Mahindas on the inside.
Seconds after the blood started to flow on the left eye of Mathusan Mahindas. One of the better shots of the fight. See if Mahindas can capitalize in the final 20 seconds of this bout as he digs away to the body. Hard left hook connects from Avila. He is fighting until the final bell. And time will run out. Mathusan Mahindas certainly had to work in each and every round, but as you pointed out, Steve, I think some obvious growth seen in this one.
He did a lot. He did so many things that I haven't seen him do before. He moved his head well. He was setting things up and using angles. He dug to the body of Arturo Avila well. And hats off to Arturo Avila. He fought his heart out right up to the final bell in the fourth round. You see him applying some pressure here in the fourth and final round. But ultimately, it was the boxing skill and the clean shots from Mathusan Mahindas that should secure the victory here tonight. Easy 4-round unanimous decision from Mathusan Mahindas.
Avila of Zapopan, Mexico. Giving a good, honest effort here tonight, but Mathusan Mahindas, with his 80-plus amateur career, 80-plus fight amateur career, and the schooling at the Gideon Boxing Club, just a little bit too much for Avila here tonight. And Mathusan Mahindas, when he first started boxing, he had his mother sign the waiver to let him take part in his first boxing match when he was about 17 years of age. He told her, I'm just gonna have one fight and then I'm gonna move on. Now we're closing in on almost 100 fights that he's had, and he is still going. We're ready to make this one official. Let's send it up to our ring announcer, David Neiman.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. Judge at ringside, Deborah Wong scores the bout 40-36 for Mahindas. Judge at ringside, Martin Dalida scores the bout 39-37 for Moreno. And judge at ringside, Jeremy Hayes scores it 38-38, a 3-way split. This bout is a draw.
So a draw, 38-38, 40-36 for Mahindas, and then almost a wipeout for Avila in the other scorecards. This went every direction it could possibly go. To be quite honest, Steve, I only saw it one direction. I thought that should have been a win for Mathusan Mahindas.
Mahindas won 3 of the 4 rounds. You could have maybe gifted Avila a round for traveling from Mexico, but Mahindas was a clear winner in my eyes, and yours, Corey. I really feel that the judges got this one wrong and have taken away the ultimate undefeated streak of Mahindas, though it's only a draw, but I think they messed this one up tonight, Corey.
Well, I mean, let's hypothesize here. Let's try and figure out what the judges could have been seeing here. You know, was it just that kind of messiness on the inside? Was it sheer aggression? Did they feel that Avila was pushing the pace of the fight? I mean, I'm trying to get inside the mind of someone who would justify Avila winning this fight.
I'm not sure, but let's take it up to hear from the fighter himself, Mathusan Mahindas.
All right, we're here with Mathusan Mahindas. Mathusan, gotta say, I think a lot of people in here might be a little surprised by the decision. What did you think? What do you think about the outcome? Did you think you won the fight?
I thought I won the fight at the end of it. I thought I won the first, second, and fourth. Off like more punches landed, but he was very busy in the third and fourth. So I guess they did it off the busyness, but I thought I pulled it off, but it's okay. He's a good, tough fighter, you know, so it's good.
Didn't see how the cut happened. Was it a headbutt, and did that affect you at all in the 4th round? Because that's when it seemed like the blood was coming down.
Yeah, it opened up originally from a headbutt. He did land like one of those little punches on the inside, so then it started like gushing more. But it didn't really affect me. I only noticed it like second half of the 4th. I was like, oh shit, there's blood. But it's, you know, but it's not like, nah, it didn't affect me. I thought I did what I had to do, but.
Seemed like a very active fight, like a lot of punches being thrown. I know you said one of the things you wanted to work on was your power, like you want to get more KOs. Did you sense or feel an opportunity at any point in the fight where like you could have put him down?
No, he was a good, tough fighter, man. Like, I did land some good shots. You saw his mouth guard come out a few times. I thought I landed some good punches, so I didn't get the KO tonight, but, you know, it's a step in the right direction. And you'll definitely see me back. Like, a draw is not going to stop me. It happens. Other fighters wouldn't even take a fight this tough, like this early in their career. He's another undefeated tough fighter as well, you know? So someone's O had to go tonight, but no, it ended up no one's O went going, so it is what it is.
Having said that, the first fight you didn't win. Not a loss, but a draw. What is next for you? Like, what's the plan next for you? What do you want to do next in your next fight?
Next is go back to the drawing board, see where I could have improved. There's some things I noticed I could have done to like the thing I did in the 4th, I should have been able to pull it off earlier in the 3rd. So I'll just look at the tape and run it back next time.
I know it might have not been the result. Might have not been the result you wanted, but I know you got a lot of support here, and belated happy birthday yesterday to you. So thanks again for a great show as always.
Thanks everyone for coming out. I wanted to thank Power Staffing for all their love and support. I wanted to thank my coach, Gideon, Boxing Academy Horse Hunter, and Bonnie Hunter for always being in my corner. I wanted to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I know the tickets were expensive, so thank you very much for coming out tonight, and I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea. Thank you.
Mathusan Mahindas.